Hey there, everybody. Michael Newman. Hope you're having a fantastic day. I guess I'm live. I don't know. I can't even tell. Can't see anything. Well, I'm live on YouTube. I can see that, so that's good. I don't know if you can hear me, though. You should be able to hear me, but I did something earlier today and nobody could hear it, so that's awesome. I love technology. It just works so freaking well. What's this? It's clicking back and forth between streaming and not streaming, and well, who knows? Who knows if it's working? Anyway, well, hope you're having a fantastic day, fantastic afternoon. Do me a favor, go to the website. You can learn all about me, michaelnewmanproductions.com. All my stuff is there, and as we are live, we're doing calls on Discord. Discord's a kind of a cool little deal. It's designed for like gamers and stuff so they can communicate back and forth, but it does a pretty good job. So I've got my own, I guess it's a server they call it. They got my own little server. So I tweeted out and Facebooked out the link to the server. So if you want to do a live call, you can do that simply by clicking on the link, and I think you have to sign up. It doesn't cost anything. It's all free. So groovy and cool and stuff. So welcome to the show. I'm going to try to keep it short today. The podcast has been running like super long, and the everything's just been running long. So we're going to try to keep it short today and see what happens. I haven't looked at the news all day since the show was done. So let's see what is happening in the news. What do you think? Healthcare bill is sick. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's all sick and stuff. Yeah, we know. We're quite aware of that. Yeah, I talked about it all day today. 4 Republican senators say they will not vote for the GOP health care bill unless changes are made, putting passage of the bill at risk just hours after it was unveiled. Well, it's that Obamacare light bill again. It's the bill that nobody wants. And, you know, I mean, what can you do? There was a reason why we elected these people, and it wasn't to, you know, change the bill slightly and make Obamacare light and you know, get away with it and get the political capital off of it. We actually want something to be done. Johnny Depp jokes about assassination. I hear he's out of money. Johnny Depp. Yeah, I'm hearing that he's like broke. I guess is that a real thing? Is that a fake thing? I don't know. I guess he's buying too many scarves. Yeah, it's just covered in scarves. Let's see. Tesla music, no. Sanders' wife, lawyers up for probe. Well, I mean, if you're going to sue the doctor, you probably don't want to bring the lawyer into the examination room. I mean, that's going to... Not that probe? No? Jane Sanders has hired an attorney to represent her in a Justice Department probe of a land deal she orchestrated while president of a now defunct Burlington College. You know, it's kind of funny. It's you know, the 1%, the horrible people, the rich. Well, Bernie Sanders is very, very wealthy. And by the way, didn't have a job till he was 40. Not really sure how that works, but apparently if you're a Democrat socialist, you can just live off other people and it's just fine. And you know, with this land deal and all the stuff's going on with the wife, it seems like some of everything that was going on is a little bit seedy and underhanded, you know, like the evil 1%ers stealing money from people. And then on top of that, during the election of Donald Trump, there was this whole big deal about Trump University, and they were screwing people, just stealing their money. And Bernie Sanders' wife. And I'm sure, you know, Bernie said some of this stuff about Trump, and now his wife from a defunct university apparently screwed a bunch of people out of money. So it just shows you how much integrity a person like Bernie Sanders has. He says a lot of things, and he tries to buy votes from people, basically, by saying this is all the wonderful stuff we're going to give you. Hey, free tuition. That's going to be free health care. Everything's going to be free and wonderful. And then he goes after the wicked 1%, and it just turns out he's about as crooked as they come. Is there any fun stories? Feds explain sweet deal for billionaire sex offender. No. Obama nostalgia, a booming industry. Huh. I wonder if they have ears. You know, you can get the Princess Leia, you know, the bun thing. You know, you put them on, and some of them are ear warmers. I want some that are headphones. That would be sweet. I would wear those. I could probably make some with some hot glue. There you go. Get some fake hair. Or just, you know, run around and cut people's ponytails off and run away. I hear you get locked up for that. But I would look good with those. Just doing the show with the two big buns there. Never say anything about it. As if it was completely normal. I like that. 6 years in the White House, helping to promote Barack Obama's message from the outside. He still does. On Tuesday, this person became the latest Obama alum to land a contract for a book on his experiences. While much of the world obsesses about the more impetuous musings of President Obama, or perhaps the reaction to those obsessions, a new market for Obama nostalgia is manifest in growing numbers of books, podcasts, TV, film treatments, or by involving young veterans from the Obama stable. Who cares? Well, look, fine. If he can gain some popularity, you know what? Here's what I hope. This is the most positive way to look at all of this. Excuse me. Hopefully, Obama can make a career and make a whole lot of money after the presidency based on popularity, based on actual things, writing books, selling, bobbleheads, whatever he's going to do. But at least, he's selling something off of his celebrity, off of his fame. That's legal. And instead, he's not going to do, hopefully, what the Clintons did and start a fake charity and sell political influence. Right? That's probably not the right, good way to go. And if he's just playing off of his fame, and I'm sure there's lots of people like President Obama, and good for him. So, fantastic. I won't be buying his book. I'm just saying. School pulls conservative summer reading list after backlash. AP reading list pulled after concerns from residents. Posted online, this copy of Spanish Fort High teacher Jean Ponder's summer reading list includes a majority conservative and right-leaning authors, a point that concerned local residents and led to several complaints being lodged with the Baldwin County school system. Concerns from local residents have led to a summer reading list for this high school. Spanish Fort High teacher Jean Ponder. Shouldn't you be a philosopher if your last name is Ponder? I mean, yes, what are you doing? My name says it all. Summer reading lists for the class include a number of texts from a majority of conservative right-leaning authors, including Ann Coulter, Michael Savage, Ron Paul, Thomas Sowell, Chuck Colson, I don't know who that is, and Ronald Reagan. Oh, no. We couldn't possibly have something that's not left-leaning in our school system. Then we could lose the power that we have over young people. Never happens when it's ultra-left-wingers, right? Of course not. Because everybody's, dickheads. That's how it works. That's the way your schools are. That's what you're paying for, by the way. See, understand this, okay? People hate me for saying that public schools are what Nazis created. Okay, I don't believe in any public education. All the way down to the itty-bitty kids. No, it is your responsibility, Mom and Dad, to educate your kids, whatever that costs. Not my problem. I don't have kids. I chose not to have kids. I don't want kids. And I don't want to pay for your kids. And if I am going to pay for your kids, I'm damn well going to influence what's going in that school, because all this left-wing garbage is going to end up creating a crop of people that are going to be a problem for me in the future, right? So, yeah, that means I get just as much of a say in your child's education as you do, and rightfully so, because you're not paying for it. You're a freeloader. Sorry, don't like public education at all whatsoever. Uh-oh. Google Glass. God, that was around. How quickly did that go out? I mean, it's weird looking. Here's the picture of it. It's like a heads-up display. Maybe if it was a heads-up display to find like hot chicks or something, or if it automatically pointed out some side boob to you when you didn't notice it on your own, it just sort of flashes and, oh, right, look this way, 10 degrees to the right. That's where you gotta, then it would be a worthwhile product. But what does it do? It makes you look like a creeper. That's what it does. And they're not stylish or something like that. If you're going to do it, they should have done it where you can't even tell that you're wearing the Google Glass. It should have been just like these, I mean, you can do that. There's a lot of people. People complained about Google Glass like, well, they're going to go into the strip bar or they're going to go into wherever they're going to go and they surreptitiously record people. There have been glasses that have little cameras in them that you can barely tell are there, and the records in the sides there. And unless somebody tells you the recording glasses, you don't know. Those have been around for a long time. You can get them at like Bass Pro Shop. Hunters get them for, I don't know why. Just look at that shot. Look at some bitch came after him. I killed him with a knife. They should have a knife season. There should be a rule, by the way, for all hunters, regardless of what you're hunting. I don't care if it's rabbits. There should be knife season. So whatever you're going to kill, you kill it with, a knife. Not like a sword. Well, I guess sword would be fine, too. If you're going after grizzly bear with a sword, you're kind of a man. And that season should be at any point in time. If you can kill a large creature if you can kill a deer with a knife, and you're just running naked through the woods going, come here! I mean, it'd be weird, but if you got one, wouldn't you think you did something that day? Holy shit! I chased him down and killed him with a knife! How the hell did that happen? I am never going to hunt again without meth. Yeah. So there's that. Let's see what's going on. New update for Google Glass. It's just rolled out to the surprise of the entire technology community. The futuristic gadget failed to take off because people considered it too ugly and creepy. Didn't I just say that? I just said that, right? And Google had killed off the idea altogether. It shut down the Georgia Glass website. Georgia? Where did that come from? Google Glass website, as well as the social media accounts. However, the company still appears to be working on the device. Google Glass has just received its first update since 2014. It's been 3 years. Is that how long it's been? I want one of these. Wouldn't that be fun? Yeah. Except for I want to be able to fly them. The drone where you can get in it, there's a Chinese company making one. Yeah. It looks just like a normal drone. It's an 8-blader. So it's got 4 wings with props on it, but there's props on top and bottom. And then you're a little pod in the middle. He goes, yeah. Unfortunately, they don't go very far. They need a hybrid version of that. Some's got a little gas motor, turns a generator that runs the electric motors on the outside, so you can extend the range to like 300 miles. And then instead of being controlled like an iPad on the inside, you need a stick and rudder, baby. Because it'll be great. That would not be something that you could buy with a loan. Yeah, they're not going to go there because people like me would buy them and immediately die. Oh, sorry, I forgot to pay my insurance. I guess you're screwed, Mr. Banker Man. What else is going on? Der Spiegel. I don't know. They spied on the White House. Well, look at that. Well, I guess they're angry because we found out we were spying on them. But we spy on everybody. Everybody gets spied on. So who cares? It's the way it works. Orwell's son says 1984 was prescient. Well, it is today. Beijing wages war on Chinglish. I don't know what that is. World of Rap. That looks like a rapper. Oh, yeah, that's a rap guy right there. Millennials, men bolstering plastic surgery industry. Well, because you're all ugly. You need the pec implants and the ass implants. Maybe they have some pheromone implants. That way they can actually have some man smell instead of that, What do they wear? Do they wear like a cologne stuff? Or are they, I'm around nobody. I am literally a hermit, so I have no firsthand experience. Are the millennials today just stinky little runts like hippies? Are they? I imagine they are with the beards, unwashed beards. What's the beards? I don't get the beards. I really don't. You're not a lumberjack. It's not cold. Come on. Get rid of the beard. The Earth's close shave as asteroid swoops this week. Yay. Let's see. A rock hurtling through space will make a close encounter with Earth on Saturday, according to NASA. But don't cancel the barbecue just yet. It's unlikely to smash the planet. I don't like that word. Unlikely? Oh, it's unlikely. Which means, okay, we have to tell the people of the world that it's all coming to an end, but we don't want to cause a panic, so we'll tell them about it, but it's unlikely. Right. The asteroid, named something ridiculous, is marked as a concern because it's 230 meters in diameter and traveling just 7.9 lunar distances, about 3 million kilometers from us. What's 7.9 lunar distances? That's a long ways away, right? So, why is it even a story? Okay, there's a rock in space. There's trillions of rocks in space. Radio powered by sweat hints at future of wearables. There you go. That'd be a hot mix. Yeah, wasn't that funny? The radio people probably liked it. I don't know. The battery flat on your radio, don't sweat it. Or maybe that's exactly what you want to do. Okay, it was a radio person that wrote this. I can't even read any farther because that is ridiculous copy. Are you kidding? Oh, man. And you could only type those words with one hand. It's not possible to type those words in that sequence with two hands on a keyboard. Why? Because you've got one hand with your thumb stuck up your butt. That's why. A robot that irons. There you go. Actually, I would probably do that. I swear to God. At one point in time, I cared about dressing respectably, so I actually have suits. I may wear one for you sometime. Throw a jacket on. It's pretty good. Don't like to do it during the summertime. It gets too hot. But at one point in time, I was dressing, good. And I found myself at the big box store, probably the Wally World, and I was looking at different things in the clothing care section, and I'm going, I need one of those steamer things. So you could just hang it up and just run the steam on there and the wrinkles fall. The wrinkles fall out. I found myself doing that, actually. And then I woke up. Yeah. Don't do that. No. I still want one, but... Oh, I did. I talked about it on the podcast today. I'll tell you about it. Speaking of stupid things I do. Oh, I don't know if you've ever had, just fun. Something happened, you got something, and you ended up playing with it for hours. My birthday's coming up, first part of next month, and Mom called me the other day, and she says, "Do you want some stuff from Omaha Meats, birthday?" And I said, well, sure. You know what I'm talking about, the Omaha Meats, the mail order meat thing. They send you beef, various other things. And it comes in a styrofoam sort of thermos deal, and they vacuum shrink the whole thing, and you got the meat on the inside. And I have gotten that from her before, but it's usually around Christmas, and I usually get it when I drive to their house. So I drive to their house, and this Omaha meat that they haven't eaten because Mom doesn't cook anymore is sitting in their fridge, and she's like, "Do you want this? We're not going to eat it." And it's fine. I'll take it with me. So I throw it in the cooler and drive it home. No big deal. I'd never actually had one delivered to my house before. Right? Never had it delivered to the house before. And so I'm doing the unboxing, right? Just cutting through. And I open it up, and I'm like, oh, I got this. Oh, that looks good. All beef franks, fantastic. And put them in the freezer and all that stuff. And in the bottom was this bag. And I figured it was full of like some, the chemical stuff that they freeze and it stays forever. And I reached down to get it out, and I grabbed it, and my hand almost stuck to it. It was like a freezer burn, like instantaneous. Like, what was that? And I looked down, and I picked it up. I'm like, oh, is this dry ice? Yay! Where do you get dry ice? You can't find it anywhere. So I spent the next hour playing with dry ice. I cut it open and I'm pouring water and there's smoke going out. I had my entire house filled with carbon dioxide smoke. And truthfully, I think it affected me. I think I had a little oxygen deprivation because for the next hour and a half, I'm all woozy. So I had like 5 more cups of coffee and that pretty much kicked it. But it was fun. Here's the problem, though. I don't drink like pop or soda. Some people call it that, or, the carbonated beverages. And I don't have any like 2-liter bottles or any small, sealable bottles because I swear to God, dry ice, center, water, toss in the backyard and go, I would have done that. So it's a good thing that I didn't have any of the accoutrement necessary to create an explosion, as, well, we wouldn't be talking now. I would be tweeting for bail money. Trump talking Trump defense lawyer, Gallup, 10.2. Well, what I don't know what that was, but now I have a seizure. 10.2% of LGBT adults now married to same-sex spouse. Well, I would hope so. I mean, if 10.2 were married to opposite sex spouse in a game, is that, you know what? That would be a decent practical joke. It would be for the ladies. It would. I don't think well, maybe if the guy did it to the lady, she would just be pissed and probably end the relationship right there. But what you do is you go down to the county clerk and I said, give me one of them gay marriage licenses. And it's woman and woman or whatever it is. And, be like, hey, we have to get the marriage license, got this thing going on. I got the marriage license, we're all good. Okay. Then on the wedding day, they open it up and say, what is this? Oh, no, this is perfectly accurate. I think that would be fun. Right? Or maybe have to give them another. Do they just give those out for practical jokes? I think they should. That would be fun, wouldn't it? What else is going on? Let's see. Tucker Carlson completely shuts down Democrat. You say dumb things that don't make any sense. You say dumb things. Well, yeah, okay. Let's see. Oh, Tuck. Is it going to play? Come on.
But the question remains, Democrats need a new man,
that didn't work.
a new leader to win back the middle
How about that?
of the country.
It's better.
Jose Aristimuño is a former deputy press secretary at the Democratic National Committee, and he joins us now. Jose, thanks for coming on tonight. So,
good to be with you.
Just to the election on Tuesday, nobody on the left, and honestly, few on the right, called this. The polls suggested a much closer race than the results indicated. Do you think there's any possibility that Russia might have been involved in that race, working on behalf of Karen Handel?
Look, the reality here, Tucker, is that Georgia was supposed to be won by Republicans by at least 20
points. That's a joke, Jose. Wait, but you got to laugh, or else I think you're taking it seriously. Okay,
which is why I'm not answering your question. But look, back to my point is, Georgia was supposed to be won by Republicans by at least 20 points. It was won by Republicans by 4 points. Why? Because Republicans keep on losing their base. We are gaining momentum. We are going to win the House in 2018, I'm telling you. Remember, Georgia 6 wasn't supposed to even be competitive, and it was, because this is a referendum on the president.
Okay, you lost and you still won? They're so good at this, They're so good at this. They could just spin it. Hey, you should have won by 20. Hey, you should have won by 375 points, but you didn't, did you? That means you actually lost, you bastards. Right. Yeah, there have been 4 contests, I do believe, 4 different contests where sitting House members, possibly one Senate, I'm not really sure on that. No, it would be House members because Senate are appointed by governorships. I do believe, at least in most states. And there's been 4 of these races where they had to fill a seat that was vacated by somebody that took over, another spot. All 4 were losses, and all 4 had the same story behind it. All 4 were like, we're going to get him. It's a referendum on this damn Trump guy. And it didn't happen. And every time they lose, no matter how much they lose by, the story is, well, look at you. Look at you. You suck. You didn't win by much, you bastards. 1,200 seats. And you haven't won one back. It's actually more than 1,200 seats, right? Now, and the big seat, the presidency. You haven't won one back. And by the way, I talked about Ossoff the other day on the podcast, and it was the story was discussing what sort of candidate he was, and that he was the guy who was out there, he's shaking hands, he's meeting everybody he could meet, he's going to Republican districts, and he's going, hey, how you doing? He was really hitting the ground. He raised a lot of money. It was a very tough-fought campaign, and juxtapose him with the Republican candidate that apparently was, oh, she's just got corporate money, and it's all private, and she was avoiding the media and all this stuff. Okay, if that's the case, then fine. If that's the case, I will accept that. I will accept your version of what's going on. So what does that mean? That means Ossoff went to a whole bunch of different people with his message. He went out there, he was shaking the hands, and he was trying to convince people face to face, personally. He was doing everything he possibly can, and he was getting his message out there. And what happened? People rejected his message, which is a much scarier deal for Democrats because there's no excuses now. You had the money to do it. You had a good candidate. You had a candidate with buzz behind them. And then when that candidate went out and actually talked to the constituency and they heard what he had to say, they said, ooh, not so much on that. Not so much on that. Not a big fan. So they're losing based on their ideas and nothing else.
People are tired of this nonsense.
Okay, so it sounds, I guess, if I were a partisan, which I'm not really, but I would be pretty happy with your response because what you seem to be saying is everything is fine, make no changes, we're doing great, we're going to win, when in fact, as you know, as a numbers matter, Karen Handel won a higher percentage of the vote than Donald Trump won in that same district in November. So actually you're moving in the wrong direction, but you don't see any need for a course correction at all?
Look, talking about change, talking about Nancy Pelosi, she's a great American, she's a great Democrat. Nancy Pelosi is not going anywhere. Nancy Pelosi is here to stay.
Understand something about Nancy Pelosi. You may not know this. You may not know this. Nancy Pelosi's been in Congress, 30 years, something like that. You know how many campaigns she's run? You know how many? You know how many debates she's been in for that seat she's been in for 30 years in San Francisco? You know how many? One. And that was for a primary. That's the only campaign she's ever had to run, was to win the primary in that district. Once they got the primary in that district, they're there till they die. So he's right. She's there as long as she wants to be there. But that's simply because San Francisco is full of stupid people that are disconnected. Brain-numbed, mind-numbed robots who either don't pay attention or simply don't care. One. You go look it up. She's had one campaign. It was for the primary, for the first time, she won that seat.
At the same time, though, let me just say, Democrats across the country, we are recruiting young blood, new Democrats to be candidates so that they can run. Okay? And
who's that? Who's that? I mean, what is young blood to a Democrat? Just 70? Is that young blood? Oh, you have to be you have to be just shy of retirement. So it's like, 64 3/4. Then you are a young Democrat. Anything below that, you're a baby.
And so they can impact solutions and look for solutions that real Americans are looking for. But she's not going anywhere.
Okay, the real solutions that Americans are looking for, you've been talking about for a long time. You explain what those solutions are to the American people, and they say, hey, we ain't looking for that. Douchebag.
I'm going to run on. Oh, okay. Look, I'm not here to attack Nancy Pelosi. I feel sorry for Nancy Pelosi.
As we all do.
My only point, I guess, would be that she lives in a very rarefied world. I mean, she represents a 100% urban district, one of the richest congressional districts in America.
Yeah, she represents all rich people. Isn't that nice? Oh, I speak for the poor. Really?
Also one of the most liberal districts. Trump won under 10% in her district. So the question is, can someone who represents a place like that appeal to the voters you need, who are not hard partisans, but sort of on the fence? But you're obviously not going to engage in this. So let me just ask you a question. Yeah. What should Democrats run
Can
on?
you imagine? I don't want to go through all this. Can you imagine what she would be like, Nancy Pelosi, in a debate? Can you imagine? Can you imagine what would happen if you took Nancy Pelosi and put her against just me in a debate? Can you imagine what would happen? I'm not the smartest guy, okay? I'm a pretty good talker, and I know where I stand on issues, but she's a senator, or she's a congressman. She's been there for, 30 years, 30-plus years? Maybe 4. I don't know how long it's been. It's been forever. Can you see her standing on a stage? Let's call it a half an hour debate. Can you see her standing on stage with me and winning at all? Looking good at all? Is that even possible? And I'm nobody. And if that's the case, then what is she going to do against a real candidate? And more so, what is she going to do against people that actually care? And if there's a case study in term limits, it would be Nancy Pelosi. There's no reason a person that doesn't have to run a campaign, she can raise all the money she wants and I guess keep it, but never has to, run a campaign. That's the idea of that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of in my life. It's great. Let's see what else. Just said, I just got a live chat from somebody. I think he was referring to the guy that was scarves. Johnny Depp being broke. A lot of these guys go broke. I mean, they spend their money on scarves and cars and ridiculous things, islands. And, when you've got, let's say you've got, $3, $4, $5 million in the bank, you can borrow a whole lot more than $3, $5 million in the bank. You can borrow a whole lot more. So you can buy a $15 million home, $25 million home, whatever it is, because you're basically putting up your assets as a collateral for that. And they assume if you've made $3 million, you're going to be able to end up paying this thing off. And even if you don't, they're still going to be able to sell it and get and recoup their funds on that. So these guys have a certain amount of money in the bank and they start buying a bunch of stuff on credit. Next thing you know, they can't meet the minimum monthly and, things get sold off. So, and plus, it's not like actors are people that have to deal with responsibility on a daily basis, right? They're people that have, especially A-list actors, they've got yes men and yes women around them 24/7, just a herd of people telling them how great they are. And that doesn't do a body good. I mean, look what it did to me. Just saying. Here's what Ted Cruz thinks of the current Senate health care bill. Let's find out. Is there no audio? Come on, Ted. Oh, there is audio. I don't want to listen to Ted Cruz on somebody else's show. Who cares? Senate health care bill is virtually the same as Obamacare. Well, we said that earlier today. It's Obamacare light, and sorry. What a bathing suit with Trump's face on it. After you see this, you won't. Okay, what do we got here?
The Blaze Radio Network.
Oh, shut up. That's awesome. That is awesome. I totally want that. Do you not want that? Oh, you can't see, but you can. Oh, look at that. It's pornographic. This is perfect. Well, I want to see some of the comments. What are the comments down here? Oh, no. I actually think it's hilarious. Yeah, almost nasty. Seeing Obama's face in a urinal. Well, there you go. The picture is, it wouldn't be good unless it was that picture, right? It's got to have the open mouth sort of, oh, what? Except for the top, the strap part of the bathing suit, and then where the eyebrows are, that actually needs to be real hair. Or, the fake hair stuff, but it needs to be poofy. That way, when you jump in the water and then come out, it's like laying down, and you can braid it and stuff. That would be sweet. Or if you move the mouth. Anyway, we're not going to talk about that. That's just being pornographic. I'm sorry. A bad person. Is the Black Lives Matter movement failing? Insider calls the movement tyrannical. Well, yes. Of course it's tyrannical. They're espousing tyrannical views towards other people. Why would they not then be tyrannical inside their own organization? It's like communists. Matter of fact, they are communists. Yeah. Stevie Wonder, blunt message for some who say Black Lives Matter. Uh-oh. Stevie Wonder. I always like Stevie Wonder. Let's see. Any video here? Okay, yeah, he does have video. So we're going to listen to the Stevie Wonder video. It will be wonderful.
Because it is in your hands. It is in your hands to do it. It is in your hands to stop all the killing and all the shooting wherever it might be. Because you cannot say...
That is a very important message that needs to be sent out there. Chicago's crime rate or murder rate, shooting rate has gone sky high of late. I mean, it is nuts. And is it a bunch of white people shooting blacks? Is it a bunch of cops out there just cleaning the herd? No. It's a bunch of inner city youth, basically, killing each other. You don't have to do that. There's no white person on the planet that made you shoot that guy down the street. No one can make you do that. It's actually fairly easy to not kill people. It's fairly easy to not kill people. You have to make a conscious decision to murder another human being, and that's what they've been doing. And the message here is, look, if you want your communities to be safe, stop shooting people.
Black Lives Matter, and then kill yourselves.
Oh, wait. Let's do that again here. Let go back.
Black Lives Matter, and then kill yourself. Because you cannot say Black Lives Matter and then kill yourselves.
Yeah. That's exactly right. I like how he's acting like he's looking at the crowd, like a preacher would do, looking at you right in the eye. I know I'm being a dick right now. I know. But isn't that the face? He's like, yeah, I'm looking at you. I'm talking about you. No, you're not. You don't know who I am. I've been flipping you off the entire time. I've got a nipple hanging out. You don't know.
Because you know that we mattered long before it was said. But the way we showed that we matter, the way that we showed all the various people of color matter is by loving each other and doing something about it, not just talking about it. Not just waiting to see the media and press come when there's a horrible thing.
Okay, I think I lost audio. I don't know why. How about this? No, there is no audio. It died. Well, that's no good. So, yeah, it's a message that needs to go out there that the biggest danger to the black community is other members of the black community. And that's just the truth. Now, people say, you're a racist for saying that. Okay, well, if you want to call me a racist, if that is the threshold for racism, then fine, I'll accept that. But it's still the truth. If the truth is racist, then okay, the truth is racist. And you're not going to shut me down by screaming racist at me. And frankly, I'm tired of saying I'm not racist. What's the point? What's the point? Then I'm arguing on your terms. My term is you don't know what racist is. You have no idea. You've never thought about it. You have no philosophy on racism. It's just something you call people. As a matter of fact, and I made this point on the radio, and I'll make the point to you. The words Islamophobic, the words racist, the words bigot, all these things, homophobic, all these things that get thrown out there in conversations these days, and you can just openly scream it at people. The point of that is to rob that other person of their humanity. You are in an argument, you start it, or in a discussion, you start that discussion on even keel, so you're both people. And at some point, you want to take a step ahead so that you can win the argument. And by shouting racist at somebody, you're declaring in one fell swoop that A, you're superior, and B, they are far inferior to the point where they're not even human. That's what you're saying when you say racist, when you scream racist at somebody. You're trying to steal their humanity for your own political gain. So when you scream racist at somebody, it's the same thing as screaming the N-word at somebody and meaning it. Racist is the new N-word. That's what it is. And you notice the ones that use the buzzwords racist, homophobic, Islamophobic, all that, the ones that use the words to try to steal somebody else's humanity are the ones that are always talking about equality. And frankly, they're from the party that used to be the party that just would scream the N-word at people. All right. It's been a fine prep show. Thank you so much for joining me, my friends. Please go to the website, michaelnewmanproductions.com. There you can send me emails. You can find out all the links to the social media and a whole bunch more stuff. It's all great. It's all right there. And support the show. Please tell your friends about it and click the support link on the website, michaelnewmanproductions.com, and that will keep me eating. So, and that's always good. I know I could probably lose some weight, but give me a break. I don't have to justify myself to your ass. All right. That's it. Have a fine night, my friends. We will see you again tomorrow.